What they will never understand is billable pressure, working at a law firm. You can't explain that to somebody who's not in that world. They don't understand, why are you in the office 10 hours and you bill 4? It just doesn't make sense. So what I wanted to create was a place where everybody that joined immediately had 2 points of connection, that I'm a dad and I'm a lawyer, and everybody else in this community will understand and can relate to me on both of those.
Welcome to our Happy Rainmakers Video Series, where point one can make a difference. I'm really happy to be joined today by Matthew Korn, who is an employment law partner. Welcome.
Thanks, Jennifer. Happy to be here.
So I was really anxious to have you tell us all about Dad Esquire. I think it's amazing. You've got hundreds and hundreds of people who are already associated with it. Can you tell us what it is and how you started it?
So I started Dad Esquire. Dad Esquire is an online community. I host it on a platform called Mighty Networks. I talk about it a lot on LinkedIn, and sometimes people think it's on LinkedIn, but there's an actually freestanding community on Mighty Networks. It's free to join. The mission is for lawyer dads to have a place to connect with each other, to share their stories about raising kids and practicing law, to share strategies, and to support each other. And I launched it January 2025. And as of recording, we're about 15 months into, so I guess 16, 17 months in, and we have almost 700 members in, I think, 44, 45 states and 15, 16 countries now. And so it's grown quickly. And what I love seeing is, guys, we have a chat feature, we have events, but seeing guys jump into a chat and just ask questions about, either the law side or the parenting side or both, and how they interact. And other guys jumping in to say, this is what I did. We've even got some law granddads, and the more we call them more experienced law dads in the community are awesome, because they, for people with younger kids, it's nice to have somebody that has been through whatever stage you're going through and can offer their wisdom, or, hey, this is, I'm not an expert, this is what worked for me. And I say that a lot.
That's amazing. What is the purpose? What are you trying to accomplish? I know you wanted to have a community where dads could talk to each other and be recognized as involved parents too. It's not just the moms that need a little bit more support at work. Do you have an ultimate goal of how many people you want to have involved, or what kind of actions you want to take?
I have 4 kids, 3 boys, 11, 8, and 5, and a daughter who's 3. My wife and I have been parents now for almost 12 years. I'm not a parenting expert. I don't profess to be I don't have a child psychology degree. I'm a host of a community, and really that it was guys coming to me and saying, how do you do it? How do you manage this? And my immediate response was always, I sleep less than everybody else, which is true, but not healthy. And I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit, but I said, let me go find some, the last guy that asked me, I was like, let me find you some resources, because I'm sure there's something out there that can help you with this. And I started looking, and there's some good stuff. If you start really digging, there's some good stuff on working dads. And that term even is kind of a newer term. Like, it was always assumed dad would work, I think, for a long time. Now it's like the dad part's the new part. And so there were some resources, but they're hard to find. They're not hitting you in the face. Like, if you're a working mom and you go on LinkedIn, you're going to see plenty of stuff. For dads is not as much. And I think it's growing. I've met some really cool people doing a really cool work, but I didn't find anything specific for lawyer dads. And I'm a guy, I've got a close group from our church group of other dads, and they're awesome. I can talk to them about dad stuff. What they will never understand is billable pressure, working at a law firm. You can't explain that to somebody who's not in that world. They don't understand, why are you in the office 10 hours and you bill 4? Like, that doesn't make sense to somebody that's never sat in that chair, in those shoes. It just doesn't make sense. So what I wanted to create was a place where everybody that joined immediately understood, they immediately had 2 points of connection, that I'm a dad and I'm a lawyer, and everybody else in this community will understand and can relate to me on both of those topics. So that was really the mission, was I want to create this space. I said to my wife, I don't know if it's going to be 10 guys around a Zoom talking about being better dads, but if that's all it ever is, it's worth doing. And now it's 700 guys. And And I'm starting to think about, what can we do? Like, we now have a group of guys that are really committed to being good lawyers and being good dads. What can we do with that? How can we advance the conversation, advance the discussion? Working with, there's a group called Mothers Esquire that is doing really cool work. So I'd love to partner with them and say, like, let's take this power of all these smart people that care about these issues and do something that matters and come alongside. Really, they're way ahead of us. Look, women are always, my view, they're way ahead of us on what they're doing. I want to catch up to them and partner and come alongside them.
I think that it sounds like you're offering great resources, and dads are not quite as recognized. I remember when I had young kids, it used to bother me when people would say to my husband, "Oh, you're babysitting. That's so great." And be like, "Well, those are his kids. He should be parenting too." But, he also got a lot of subtle pressure at work, like, "Oh, can't your wife do that? Are you gonna go to another activity? You left early last week," that kind of thing. So I can imagine that dads have a lot of pressures, and it's nice to have a group where they can discuss them and find some resources. So congratulations on that. Thank you so much for joining us, Matthew.
Yeah, it's been awesome chatting with you, Jennifer.